local in me kicked in, and I was like, but we can go outside and I can whoop that ass and shake hands after, you know. But I had to like really like.
What's up, everybody? It's Chase with Chaesar Videos. I just want to say thank you for checking out this video. Before every episode, I like to show a little sample of the artist's work to show context on who they are. If you want to skip this and just start the interview, that starts at 2:24. Thank you so much for your support. If you have any suggestions, comments, reactions to the video, put it in the comments. Thank you so much for your support. Follow the artists. Follow my channel if you like it for more content like this. Thank you so much for letting me do this.
Mr. Joshua on the beat, it's a hit, eh? We're gonna smooth it out real quick. I be thinking about you sometimes when I'm on the road and I'm feeling kinda low. I be thinking about you keep building your wealth and celebrate. Ain't got time to pay. Gotta separate from the negative to elevate. Keep building your wealth.
Some things change. Some things stay the same. But can you do this one thing for me?
Tomorrow, just enjoy the vibe today. Life ain't perfect, but it's finna be okay. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the journey. Don't be in a hurry, ain't no need to worry. Don't be worried about tomorrow, let's enjoy the vibe today. Life ain't perfect, but it's finna be okay.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in again this week. It's episode 10 right here. Just got back into Hawaii with Dareese Develops and Sto0d. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome, man. How's it going?
Man, we good, man. We good. We appreciate you hitting us up to be on here, man.
Yeah. So I'm happy that we're able to shoot this because, Dareese, you leave Tuesday?
Yeah, man.
Leaving Hawaii, going to California?
Moving to Arizona on Tuesday, actually, bro.
Arizona,
AZ. I'll be in Yuma, guys.
getting with the whole scene and everything out there.
Yeah, traveling all around, man.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to get together and everything. You know, work before you're gone, before the chance is gone.
I've been excited to work with you, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Bro.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, these two are incredible at their crafts. Cameramen, directors, editors, filmers, artists. So can I hear, just from both of you, a little introduction on who you are, anything that you would say to someone who doesn't know you?
For sure, guys. My name is Dareese Lackland. I go by Dareese Develops on all social media platforms. I work in artist development and marketing, so I help artists market and manage their content and promote small businesses.
They call me Sto0d. I'm from Hawaii, out here doing the thing. It's really hard to put myself in the box. Sometimes I'm in front of the camera, sometimes I'm behind the camera, sometimes I'm behind the laptop. It's just crazy. Throwing shows, clothing line, just whatever I feel like, you know, I just put my 100% into it and I just excel, you feel me?
All right, so of everyone who I've met and like interviewed and had on the podcast, you two are probably doing the most, just as far as doing everything, you know, hands in everything. You're doing music, all types of stuff. So let me know a little bit about where sort of your creative journey started, you know, who influenced you, everything like that.
All right, let's do it. You want me to go? They want Sto0d to go first. Oh, man, let me take y'all back to where it first started. So in high school, right, I just decided to download FL Studio and I started making beats. I wanted my beats to sound better, so I went to audio engineering school. I came back, did that. I got tired of people messing up my angles, so I learned how to work a camera. Started the clothing line because I got tired of buying clothes at the store, and it just never stopped. Like, I didn't like the shows that was going on, so I learned how to throw my own shows, and it just keeps on going. Every time I come across a problem, I'm like, I got to solve this and monetize. So that's just my mantra of life, you know, solve the problems and monetize and enjoy yourself along the journey, you feel me?
Yeah.
Man, well, me, I started off, I guess in high school too. I was a part of Cinematech, so I was doing a lot of like meals news. I was like, I guess every morning you would see me on the news talking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't really know I was into cameras until like I say 2016. I sold my laptop. I had like a MacBook Air. I ended up going on like Facebook Marketplace, and then I traded it for a Canon T6i, and that was the first camera I ever had. Once I had that camera, I started taking photos, going around, just hitting up like influencers on Instagram and stuff like that. I actually found Sto0d. He was shooting music videos on an iPhone.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, bro, let me shoot your music video on my camera, bro. I got you. And then I hit him up. We linked up from there, and then I just started getting into the Hawaii hip-hop scene since then.
Yeah. When was that? When y'all first link up?
2018.
Damn, so it's been a minute.
Yeah. It's going on 7 years now.
Yeah.
Or 5 years. I can't count. Sorry, guys. 5 years, 2023.
You said you were in Cinematech?
Yeah.
What's that?
So in Lelehua, it's just a program where you work with a bunch of different cameras, and then you guys just pretty much we're like the news team for the school. So we do like cover like all the school's news and whatnot.
Okay.
But I did that for 3 years of high school. I didn't even know I was into cameras. I actually just did that for fun. And even after high school, I still didn't even pick up a camera until I graduated college.
Yeah.
So it was about college graduation. So like I said, about 2018, then I was going to UH West Oahu. And yeah, man. After that, I was like, nah. After I traded for that T6i, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Shoot people and shoot music videos. But I started off as a photographer. Photography was way better for me. I mean, I was more into photography in the beginning just because it was like super easy to meet people just to take their photos and then to do street photography, do street photos.
Yeah.
And to be creative. But then I feel like video was a whole new beast, and I wanted to take that on so that way I could get better because you can, I don't know, video is just way more. Yeah. Sorry, I don't.
Okay. So what was like, what got you started shooting, everything like that? Photography.
Man, that's a good question. I think it was really, I guess we have to take it back to MySpace days, man. Yeah, like MySpace days. That's the only way I can think about it.
Now, I'm 21, so.
Oh, so you didn't even have a MySpace? Damn. Okay.
So I can listen. I can't really speak on MySpace days.
So back in MySpace, I used to get into like those film cameras, bro. So I would have like digital cameras, and then we get developed. We have to develop the cameras, and then I'll take pictures of the pictures I developed. And like it would just be like moments of us like partying, getting into fights, like burning, you know, just crazy moments of life. And like ever since that, like my brother, he used to always collect photos, and all those photos that we would take pictures with growing up, he'd always collect them. But he was never into like the whole thing. He would just make like collages, and like he would like freestyle and dance once in a while, but he would never pursue it. And I think that's actually what got me into photography. Because I remember at some moment the T6i was planted in my head as like, this is the only camera right now that has Wi-Fi that I can send pictures straight to my phone with. Yeah. And it'll make it so easy to post up on MySpace, you know. So I need this. and I finally got it, and then it was like crazy because I remember like you were saying like Astro's one of the first people you shot.
Yep. And, shout out Astro Guillotine.
Shout out Astro. That's my boy too, man. He was one of the first guys I shot too because he was working with Sto0d at the time. Yeah. So I just came and started taking photos and videos as I learned what the whole world was, opening my eyes, and just I think I got into cameras because it's one of the only arts where like no matter what, you're always growing. There's always something new to learn. Yep. And there's never like a plateau.
That ceiling is so high.
It's crazy,
it's
bro.
Insane. Yeah.
I'm like, every time I think like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
There's like
Another issue comes up.
Yeah. What's going on, Chase?
Yeah. So you said you went to college for engineering. Was that right?
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about that. I don't think I've ever like stepped foot in that world at all.
Well, I mean, that's part of sound design, because like in high school, like when I started producing and like even started writing and like making music, like I just didn't like how my music sounded.
Yeah.
So I wanted to understand sound more, So I went to
Yeah.
school for that, and then I was just going to school for it in New York, and then like opportunities was coming up. I took an internship in the studio, and just like I'm
Damn.
seeing money. And
Yeah.
it was a cool
That's
chapter.
crazy.
It was a cool chapter of my life, just being behind the soundboard, making sure everybody else sound cool.
Yeah.
But overall, it helped me evolve my creativity, because I understand, certain parts of like the production of a beats and just making stuff sound better, even with the video, audio.
Yeah.
We got these mics going. Feel me?
The first like, oh man, I've said this like in 3 different episodes, but it took me like 4 episodes to get audio like acceptable. I think the first time I recorded the entire episode, I was like, hey, great job, man, that was awesome. We like dapped up, we're ready to go. I'm hungry, I'm tired, and then
Yeah.
I looked at the computer, I'm like, wait, where's the file?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, especially, like a setup like this, like audio is key. Like
Yeah,
it's
it
something
is.
like a lot of people don't really consider, especially in like
Yeah.
editing videos. Just a little sound design could just spice up your video,
Yeah.
just simple stuff like that.
Yeah, I've worked in adding sound design to music videos. I've tried that. I got my foot in that door like a little, because I don't know if you've seen the music video for Floor Seats.
Mm-hmm.
The sound design. I watched like an entire like essay on the sound design in that, because not even just the song. People were saying that they listened to the music video more so than the song, just because whoever designed the
Right.
sound on it just added so much
Make
to
the
it.
song. Sometimes the sound design in the music videos and like with the song that's already out, like it'll spice it up, you
Yeah.
know, make or break. Like you said, people listen to the music video version more than the song that's on the streaming platforms.
Yeah. So that whole time when you were in New York and everything in college, working on beats, and in high school even, 'cause you said you were making beats in high school. Were you singing with that? Were you rapping with it?
Well, yeah, I started just staying behind, being a producer, and then nobody was getting on my beats. So, like, I kind of forced myself to learn how to write. So I
Yeah.
would just write down hooks, send them out to my artist friends. Oh, I got a 16 for you. And just build songs like that. 2 homies on the song. Yeah, I got 2 verses. I'm already on the hook. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we just put out songs on MySpace. I know you don't know about MySpace, but MySpace was crazy. I almost got a record deal. It was crazy. But we was just putting out songs on MySpace. You know, no marketing, no nothing. Just homies like, it's good or bad, you know?
Yeah.
You feel me? We was doing a whole bunch of stuff. We didn't know we was missing bags. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it's cool though.
Okay. So what did the whole like? You say you're from Hawaii. So what did the whole? Walk me through in Hawaii. Then you're in New York, and then when do you come back to Hawaii and everything?
Being an island boy, just getting planted in the concrete jungle, mean streets of New York. I was 19 at the time, so you could
Yeah.
just kind of tell the mind frame, you know.
Yeah.
But I just knew like I had to step out my box and learn stuff. And, you know, when I was like 18, 19, like New York was still looked at the mecca of hip hop and all that in music. So like everybody would either go to California and New York. I just chose to go to New York to see what was up.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to real quick. This turned off. I'm gonna see if we can get it back on.
For sure. Pause.
See. Yeah. I don't know how it happened. I think, honestly, the room's probably got to be haunted or something. But something went wrong with the cameras, which I don't think has ever happened before. So, I don't know. Weird, you know. It's a first. Who knows? Let's see. Where were we? You were talking about the scene in New York. Everyone
Yeah.
going there.
Yeah.
And then coming back to Hawaii.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, I was going hard for 3 years to New York, and like I came to my first slow season because, you know, if you don't really understand how the game works, like it's not all just all this, like especially when you're coming up, you're gonna have this, you're gonna have your highs and your lows, and like it was cold, I was missing home, I was supposed to come back for a vacation, and I was just out here for like a long time, you know.
Yeah,
just pushing it, you know, just pushing everything I wanted to, you know.
So then when did you come back here?
What was that? Probably like 2012.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
So you plan to stay here like long term, head back, travel? What?
Nah, man, I'm a Rolling Stone right now,
Yeah.
man. I'm actually flying out to the new base. I'm gonna be in Arkansas for a little while.
Damn.
And then I'm just gonna roll around the South, just, you know,
Yeah.
networking and getting the work done, you know, being creative, man.
Yeah. Check wherever they're at in their journey. Shout out. Their links are in the description. If you're listening to this with no video, check the description. Go there. If you're watching the video, pause it. Go check their links out. See where they're at. Get with their work. Link up with them. And that was my little soapbox right there.
That was dope, man. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah. So you said something that makes me curious with what y'all are doing right now. You said we're talking about the ebbs and flows of like coming up and everything, getting work with this industry. Where would y'all say y'all are at in your careers right now? As in, what are your goals?
I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Me go first. Man, I feel like with this whole art, you're always in a moment notice in a different position. Like you can never really say like, yeah, I'm solidified in the game right now, doing my thing, you know, like, cause today could be one thing, tomorrow could be another, but I'm always chasing growth. I'm always trying to get to the top. So I feel like I'm at a good place. I think I'm banging on like the doors right now to where people are really like, okay, this guy's really doing some work.
Yeah.
So I feel like next thing is just like keep moving, keep staying humble, and keep developing. That's trying to go, I don't know, as far as I can go, you know. Like I feel like we're at a good space right now, you know, consistent, just getting work in, working with a lot of good people, meeting a lot of good people, and I'm just trying to see how far I can go from here. That's pretty much it.
Facts, man. I'm kind of in like a similar space with that, you know, coming with time and just being creative in this thing for a while. Like I just like expanding my name and just my reach, you know what I'm saying? Just the full entertainment, you know, spectrum, not just one lane. I never looked at myself in a box, and it's like whatever I'm interested in, I just like to expand on it. So, you know, mix that with whatever I'm feeling like at that moment, you know. So I'm proud of where I'm at, where we at with it, and I'm just thankful to still be able to be playing and still get the new respect from like new people with time and just building the network, you know, keeping it solid.
I think that's a big thing too. Like, I feel like a lot of people, they start to like trap themselves in a box by sticking to one thing. But in this camera world, like we all kind of, I feel like it's a small world, you know, we're all going to meet each other.
Yeah.
So if you're like somebody who just wants to do music videos, it's going to take you to one spot. Whereas if you do music videos, podcasts, commercials, then it's going to help expand your reach around and keep you relevant in the scene over and over. So I feel like I had to like really take myself out of the box and realize there's more to life than just music videos. Yeah. And I think that's when I started realizing, okay, I can do something all the time. We can find something to do all the time, no matter what. Yeah. And I think that's just the main thing to stay relevant. You just got to find something to do. Keep moving, keep creating, right?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. That's a big thing that I've had to learn through time is like for all the planning and like thinking out everything, music videos, plans for the future. What I've sort of realized is that if I'm not busy doing something, then I get stagnant, and like I'll. It's not even that I won't grow; it's that I'll start to sink, you know. And the stuff I have learned and like grown in, I'll start to like sink down on that and have to relearn it when I get back, you know. That's why a big thing for me has been consistency. Trying to be consistent. That shit is hard for me. I want to get into that. I want to learn about y'all's process and everything. But before that, I want to ask 2 specific questions. One for each of your brands, your images. 1, Sto0d, I'm going to start with you.
What you got for me, Chase?
What is like FoolsKnow?
Okay. Fool stands for found our own lane. So everybody, when I started my clothing line back in 2012, everybody that gravitated towards it, it was like, you know, we was the rebels. We wasn't doing things by the book. Like, people was mad at me because I didn't have a winter, spring, or fall, you know, summer collection. I was like, if I feel like dropping right now, like, that's what we about to do. Like, what you talking about? We still putting up numbers, you feel me? But it was like for the people that felt like they was alone on their journey, but felt their own path, you know, found their own lane, you know. Doing
Hell
their thing, you know.
Because I've seen that. I've seen it on Instagram, and I never knew, you know, part of that brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Is it more than clothing? FoolsKnow? Or do you keep that as mainly your clothing thing, and other stuff goes under another name label?
Yes, FoolsKnow. It started off as just, you know, merch, but you know, 2022, that's when I started planning on like expanding, you know, just planning on how I wanted to expand it to keep just the brand, you know. Now I'm focusing more just on the branding, you know, like what to keep the brand alive, because that's really the name of the game, especially when it comes to fashion. Like, you could drop anything as long as your brand name is solid, you know.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right, Dareese. Now my question for you is, I see it everywhere. What does like developing mean to you? In the name, Dareese Develops.
All right, so I want to start this question off by kind of finishing up where Sto0d left off. I know Sto0d says like FoolsKnow is more like a clothing brand, but it's actually like a lot more. I feel like it's a culture, you know. We had to develop it from a clothing brand into a culture. So it's a bunch of us who are entrepreneurs. We have our own brands, our own labels, and we all kind of come together under one roof to build and continue to help develop each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like for me, Dareese Develops comes from like a long time of chasing goals by myself and realizing like you can only get so far by yourself. I notice like a lot of people around me, they're more focused on like themselves and how they can be like the best version of themselves or whatnot. So I thought, let me put myself on the back burner a little bit and start to develop other people.
Yeah.
But I think it got to a point to where like I just loved growth in its entirety, you know, like being the best version of myself in order to where I can help other people become the best version of yourself. Because like I said, I was focused on like, I had a wrong understanding of it, you know. I was thinking like focusing on yourself was a selfish thing. But I realized you have to focus on yourself in order to develop other people, because if you only giving yourself 10%, you only have 10% to give others.
Yeah.
So I had to realize, damn, I got to give myself 100% so I can give other people at least 99, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was already giving them my 1% that I had of nothing. So
Yeah.
And that's kind of where my whole branding is, just whether it's yourself or other people, like just chase after growth, chase after being the best version of you, and just develop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because I always saw that, and I was like I fuck with that message, because for me a huge part of it is always learning, you know, because that's the one thing, like, because for me, like when I started, you know, I would see like, and always I would see people who were doing like way better than me. I'd be like, fuck, man, like, but then you know, get discouraged and everything. One of the reasons why, like, I forget when, like, I ran into you on social media and saw your account and everything, but seeing the Dareese Develops, I was like, oh, all right, I can fuck with that message and stuff, because that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned is like, even no matter where you're at, it really just matters that you're consistently growing. Because
so I would say it's not about where you're at, it's about where you're going, bro.
Yeah.
It's the journey, not the destination.
Huh.
But if you look at like my old page, if you follow me for a long time, you know I have like another page. It's called Sto0d, and I actually started off doing a lot of fitness stuff. So I used to be like 135 in pounds.
Yeah.
Like I was really skinny. I did a lot of running. I was a track star, stuff like that.
Oh, same, yeah. Actually, you know what? I think I saw you. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think, did you hurdle?
Yep.
I think I saw something about that. I did too. I love that.
Yeah, hurdling is my shit, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good.
All right, fitness page.
Yeah, that's where the develops came from, though. Like, life is all about getting over those hurdles, bro. And that's kind of where, like, I instilled, like, challenges in life are just opportunities to grow.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, my hurdle mindset is what I put into my photography brand, to be honest. Yeah, I was OIA champ, pretty much almost state champ. I was top 4, but I didn't win, so
Yeah.
another journey, but that was high school times. Now, yeah, I think like 2016, 2015, I started lifting weights. I gained like 45 pounds within a year. And you can follow like my whole weightlifting journey on the Sto0d page. It was crazy, man. And after that, I started like realizing like when you really like put the effort and like when you wake up every morning, every day, have the discipline, the consistency to really do what you want to do and be like reach your goals. Like, bro, is your wish is your command. Like,
Yeah.
just wake up and do it, and then it comes true. It's crazy, bro.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's where the whole
Yeah.
development started.
All right. So then that leads me sort of into what I was saying earlier. Can I hear a bit about each of yours, like your journeys and struggles with your journey? Like what, when you think of what it's taken, what you've had to do to get where you're at now, can you speak on a little bit of that? You know, all the lessons you've learned, everything?
Yeah, you want to go first, dude?
Y'all want me to go first? I can. Man, I've learned a lot, and I still learn stuff every day. So I'm happy I'm still learning. You know, I'm not keeping to a box. But the number one lesson for me that I learned in my creative journey is if you go build an empire, you can't do it yourself. I tried, you know. You can't touch an M by yourself. I tried already. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I tried that. So that was the biggest lesson for me personally. Because, like, especially, like, I keep on learning stuff. So it's like I always felt like I could do everything myself because I pretty much taught myself how to do everything myself. But it's like you need other people around you to help you, you know, nurture and develop the vision, you know. So that's what goes into it. Yeah. And just being consistent, like, when you feel like doing it, when you don't feel like doing it, always find something, you know, like, you don't have to be consistently like doing the same thing, but as long as it's going in the same direction that you want to go in, like, just be consistent at it, you know? Yeah. That's top 2 for me. And just have fun with it. Once you stop having fun with it, you should be done with it, you know? Because now you're looking at it as work. Now it's a job. You might as well just go get a job, you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna hate the downsides that come with it, you know? It's just not all glam and glitz like everybody think, you know? So yeah, that's my top 3.
Man, I feel like for me, like, every year I hit a new benchmark in growth. Like, this past year, I was really focused on delayed gratification. So in, like, every aspect of life, I was just preaching, like, delayed gratification. You know, every money that came in, I couldn't spend it on camera gear. Like, that's what I'd love to do, you know? Like, I want to buy a new camera, but no, let's save this. Let's invest it into the business, you know, let's let it grow. Shoot, every video I shot, you know, let's not run home and just edit it right away. Let's develop a plan, you know, let's create a whole treatment for it. Let's storyboard it out, you know, let's fully idea it out. That way we can actually have more time on set to do more spontaneous stuff, interesting stuff. And it's like, even with working with like Sto0d and like other artists I work with, you know, it's like telling them, come on guys, we have to delay this. Let's not drop this song right away. Let's build up the content to go ahead and make this actually impactful. So it's like,
interesting.
Yeah.
I never really looked at like delayed gratification that way. Huh.
Yeah, like within the whole year, bro, I've just been like being hit with it from different angles, different perspectives, and like how is delayed gratification holding me back in this position now, you know?
Yeah.
In this way of life, like, I guess one would be like, I love shooting music videos, you know? So I would go get a point to where like I'll just like go out and shoot music videos for free and just rush them. But then I would have like 60 projects that like 10 of the songs were like not even mastered, half done, not even interesting, you know? And I'm like, man, if I delay the gratification, spent time to find somebody who I actually genuinely loved the music, this video would have came out way crazier. I would have had it done faster, and it would have had way more of an impact. We could have blew it up, had more content to post about it, you know? So I've been working on trying to go towards that direction more, take my time, and actually put more emphasis on everything I do and more impact and emotion into it.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. All right, so with that then, can you go, both of you, a bit more in depth on what you got going on right now? And I don't know how much you're allowed to say how much. I don't what rules you've set for yourself on what's private and not, and what's unreleased. You know, can you go into a bit of like, what are your main projects right now?
Man, we already gave away my biggest bomb. I didn't make it public. I was moving, but I'm pretty sure this gonna come out by the time I'm already done moved, so I ain't worried about it. But besides that, just pushing artist Sto0d, pushing Sto0d Visions, the production company. Been working on some music videos and getting back into the commercials and just getting different clients, you know, keeping the name going. FoolsKnow, getting back pumping, you know, just every day I wake up like, what corner have I touched? That's literally what I think of every day, you know, just expanding everything and connecting everything, you know, so it doesn't matter where I'm at. I can still do what I want to do, you know. Yeah. I'm not bounded by one place. That was always my ick. Like, I want to be bound to just, I got to do everything I want to here. Like, no, I want to go over here and, you know, get busy. So that's what I've been working on, just connecting the dots with my network, just keep it flowing, building with everybody around me, just getting my team solid for everything, the artist side, the production side, clothing side. It's a lot of sides. You need different people that understand, you know, the different sections, you know. So that's what I've been working on. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, me. I have, I guess. Oh yeah, we just dropped Celebrate. So Sto0d music video we just dropped. That was like one of my first messing around with 3D.
Yeah.
So I created like a 3D version of Sto0d's shoe from scratch and then put him into the shoe after.
Damn.
So
That's hard.
Yeah, so that was something. I feel like working on cleaning up more and getting more in depth into 3D coming up. Doing more commercial filmmaking. So like not even from the aspect, I guess from up until now, I work with like low budget artists a lot, and I help develop individuals and people who are just getting into stuff. Now I'm moving more towards like helping developing businesses, small businesses, artists who may have like stopped making music for a minute, maybe used to be famous or whatnot, bringing them back. And I'm focusing on like that aspect of the world, trying to just bang on the doors of the big wigs, you know?
Yeah, like higher budgets, everything like that. Yeah.
It's kind of, and then if I have to, take on my own projects, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really like to rap, but I'll drop my own song. That way I can create a video around a concept that I want to pitch to a bigger people. Stuff
Damn.
Like that.
You would create a song for a video?
Yeah.
Damn, that's some dedication. Shit.
With that being said, we actually have one out now. Well, it's not even out yet. It's coming out soon. Call it The Plan. So me, J-Raw, and Sto0d, we've been pretty much developing visions for the last 4 or 5 years. And we're all kind of expanding on our businesses by reaching out to different areas. Like Sto0d's going to Arkansas, I'm going to Arizona, J-Raw's going to hold the fort down here. And within the song, we kind of just detail the plan, you know?
Damn.
Like how we're going to continue to help people develop, how we're going to continue to keep the vision going and driving.
Yeah.
And I want to expand on that and kind of send the message home.
Yeah, okay. Huh. So, can you walk me through a little bit of the steps in developing like a vision? So what, like, are you talking like y'all sit down and like you're planning for the future? Like, what does that look like? And then what you can share, what does that look like for the future?
I feel like if a lot of you guys watch Sto0d, I guess his journey's been like the best example, you know?
Yeah.
So like when I first met Sto0d, he talked about like how he has all these great skills, everything he does. And we kind of just like, all right, bro, how can we let the world know? You know, how can we tie everything together to create a cohesive piece that says, I'm Sto0d?
Yeah.
So pretty much we sit down, you know, see what your tools are, what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, what you can do, what you've already done. And I kind of just go from there, see, because I meet you where you are, and then we try to reach to where you're going. I know, like, we're all human, so, like, a lot of people are going to have their own opinions and decisions on what they should do with their own ways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of just, like, I pretty much listen, see where your goals are, what you want to do, right? And then we meet up, we figure out resources, put our networks together on how we can make this happen. But most of the time, I notice a lot of people, especially in Hawaii, they'll come to me with either like no images, like no branding. They'll like have a message in their music, but the way they look does not match the message at all. Like you'll see a lot of people talk about like shooting and killing, but they've never even played Nerf before, you know? So it's like you gotta like tell them like it's hard to sustain a life that you don't actually live.
Yeah.
So the purpose of what I'm doing here is I'm asking you what life do you want to live, and we're gonna go out and live that life. And if you're not willing to live that life, then you need to figure out what life you want to live and start talking about that. And that's pretty much what it is. So it's like, you know, pretty much Did said, hey man, I want to get paid off of my art, off of creating. You know, I want to be able to not have to work a job, just go out, enjoy what I do, and get paid for it. And I mean, I don't know if still want to share this, but I think for like the past 4 years of us working, whatnot, my man is now monetized on all social platforms.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, man.
We make steady content all the time, and we just
talk about it. I mean, I
well, yeah, we just keep developing, man. That's all it's about, bro.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I want to hear that now. I had a question in mind for you. I'm gonna put it on the back burner.
Okay.
I want to hear about that.
You want me to expand on the question you gave him?
Yeah.
Okay, so refresh my question with the question. My bad, bro. He went on a nice dive.
So I'll go with the one that I was thinking.
Yeah,
that I thought of.
Okay.
So I asked you to introduce yourself, and I asked you what you're doing,
Right.
how you got started with what you're doing.
Yep.
So now I want to go into
How we doing it?
Well, that sounded like I'm an asshole.
Hey, we cool. We good, brother. We here with it, man. I just want to answer your questions. You feel me?
I want to know what he was talking about, what you feel like your message, your image, your portrayal is. In a broader sense, why do you do what you do?
How I play the role in what you do, and then why do you do it, I guess, right?
I don't know what else I would do, to be honest. If I wasn't doing this, like just having the normal 9 to 5, doing the normal stuff was never my thing. Like I was always like creating something, no matter what field. So I just want to keep on creating, you know. So I just chased that, and you know, with time and my seasons and my moods, like whatever form and fashion I want to create, like it will change. You know, sometimes I want to put out clothes, sometimes I want to put out songs, sometimes I want to film for other people and bring their visions to life, you know. Like it's just want to keep on creating and get paid for it, to be honest, you know. It's just fun. And I just like spreading my message of positivity, and you don't have to follow the book that they gave you in high school, you know. Like you believe strongly in something, I'm gonna be the first person to tell you should go do that. Like, you know, get your plan together and just execute. Don't worry about the outside noise. That's people that's too scared to get off the porch most of the time. Like, you know, you gotta listen to where the message is coming from, you know what I'm saying? So
okay,
that's my thing right there.
All right, so I guess that kind of leads me to, now I need to know the answer of, so what are you going to be doing in Arkansas then?
The same thing I'm doing in Hawaii, expanding the network. I got, over time, I've met people, and like I built up my network to like it's pretty much spread out. And like, for example, like you can do a lot of online work. Like if we never met, like we could do work online.
Yeah.
But it's different when you're actually like there in the thick of it. Like when it's going on, you could catch stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, we're in Hawaii, right? So if we want to catch a moving train, like they literally, you either got to be that train or they got to come out here and then you catch them while they're here, right? Versus while you in the States, it's always something, and all you got to do is just reach out and grab it, you know? So it's like, shoot, why not? I'm just pretty much betting on myself and my people and my network, you know? You got to do that.
Damn. And then what about you, Dareese? What you gonna be doing in Arizona?
Well, I feel like a big part to the move is the whole systemization, right? I'm trying to create systems and expand, so I don't really see myself as Arizona, like as Arizona being the new like place that's gonna be running and bumping. I see myself as expanding everything I knew and grew up upon in Hawaii into Arizona. And on top of that, I want to like continue to support my artists here in Hawaii, and then as well as Sto0d when he leaves. And I'm gonna also be helping support new businesses up there in Arizona. You know, I got some things lined up. Can't really talk about yet, but make some good stuff coming out, more content, bigger artists is coming.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that, fam.
Okay. So, made a really interesting note there, which I want to ask about. A lot of people who are going to be like seeing this, watching this, are never have going to heard of anything from Hawaii. All they're going to know is like cartoons and what they, you know, yeah. I never thought in my life I would ever see Hawaii until the military brought me here. It was still like, it's like, damn, it's kind of crazy. When you said you want to bring a piece of you, a piece of where you're from, a piece of what you know, what you were taught, to Arizona, like plant it there, what does that mean? What does that look like, you know?
Man, so this is a good one because it took me a long time to figure it out, you know. Growing up black in Hawaii, you really have a hard time to find your identity because you only know what it means to be Hawaiian, but everyone around you kind of only knows what it means to be black. So within this like hip hop Hawaii community, I kind of found my own identity, you know, because I'm a black Hawaiian, African American Hawaiian Dominican, and that type of blend, that type of culture brings a lot of like drive. It brings a lot of like love, a lot of emotion. I mean, being Hawaii, you know, aloha, love, gathering, giving, you know, and my whole developing is about learning new knowledge and absorbing new knowledge and giving it to whoever I find that needs it. So I'm trying to, I guess, bring a piece of the love and the who I found myself to be here, a driven local creative that just loves what he does, and I want to use that to develop other businesses in art in like Arkansas with him at least, and in Arizona too. I'm gonna be in Arizona, so of course mainly Arizona, but I'm gonna use that as a first step to just kind of like do this around the whole world, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see it as stopping in Hawaii. I don't see it as stopping in Arizona. I'm like just trying to go wherever I can go, as far as I can go.
Yeah. So like spread that message global.
Yep.
Be that like light out there, you know. Be able to put yourself out there. Be like, this is who I am. Everything.
Not only that, bro. Like, you gotta spread the love and realize like it's about just being the real version of you. I don't like the fact like social media and everything is about capping, and like all these people living a life and talking about a life they don't actually live. And I feel like I want to encourage people that you can go super far just by being the real version of who you are. And that's kind of like, if you don't like yourself, then just develop into the person you like. You know, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of beating, whether it's developing your body, developing your mind, developing your spirit. You got to do it to get to where you want to go, because I feel like learning new knowledge and becoming better within yourself is what makes you better, makes you more money, and makes you more impactful to the world.
Yeah. Sto0d, I'm going to ask you a similar question. I'm going to word it a bit differently. First, I'm going to take a quick second.
Boom.
Reset these cameras.
Do your thing.
And we're back. Okay, so
Yo.
now my question becomes to you, Sto0d. In Arizona, what do you feel like you're going to be bringing as far as who you are is, you know, with your background? Hawaii, New York, then back to Hawaii. I mean,
It's all good. It's all good.
I knew that. I'm
gonna
tripping.
catch you. It's all good. It's all good. Well, when you look at the map, right, like between my New York and Hawaii background with this creative and just, you know, entertainment background, like Arkansas is like a slower place when it comes to that. So like it's quote unquote, you know, like the big city guy goes to the slower place and just kind of do just light stuff that they not even doing yet, and then they monetize, and then they just build up, and then next thing you know, dang, how does out of towner just take over, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just taking over, I just want to add and bring value to the community, to the people that's already there doing their thing. Like, yo, this is what I learned on my journey. We can do some, create, and we helping each other, because that's expanding my name, my brand too, at the same time, while integrating with a whole different community, you know? And just, I'm trying it out there, and then fine tuning it from there. So everywhere I go, I can basically just go anywhere in the world with the same plan and just bring value.
Yeah. Okay. So can I get each of y'all's insights on, you talked about it a little bit earlier, on how you have set up a network and a group of people? Because you mentioned it earlier, how it's like one of your, you realized how you couldn't do it all yourself, you know? Can you tell me a bit about that? How you've set up your networks?
I feel like first things first is, like, I always keep solid business. So, like, when you work with other people, they refer you to other people. That's a really good way to set up network. Definitely just be solid all the time. It's better to say no to a project than to take on a project you know you're not going to complete because you either don't like it or just because it's crunch time, you know? Yeah. So I noticed, like, that was a big lesson I have to learn too, because I realized, I guess, through working with other people, I like to learn from as much people as possibly can. So I would reach out to anybody who I know who does anything within the camera community, whether it's filming, dancing, and then I'll try to link up with them to see if there's anything I can learn in exchange for providing them with some behind the scenes, other special content, photos, videos, whatever they would need, or just being a second hand on set. And then even on top of that, like, when it comes to, I feel like whatever you need, whether it's like you want to learn how to be a better cameraman, you should reach out to them and figure out how you can help them, you know? Whether it's like you need models for your music video, how can you help a model get seen more? You know, you need maybe you need a DJ or a producer for one of the artists you work with. How can you help that DJ or producer promote what they're doing in order to use them in your network, you know? So it's like, it's a lot of collaboration, but I know it's a lot of times if you just build your own skills and you just give it out for free, people are willing to do the same thing back for you. You know, when you reach out, you need it. It's like, hey man, you know, I remember that you did this for me, so I'll know what. So I try to, like, just do as much as I can, because I never know at what point in life where I would be and when I'll need the favor returned.
Basically similar answers for me, like a lot of collaborations, you know, like in this game you do have to make money, right, certain ways, but a lot of times people look over the fact that you don't have to, you can make money indirectly, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can put out, like, I'm using us as an example, we could have a platform or a product that will generate the money instead of me coming to you like, hey man, pay me, you know what I'm saying? We generating it. So that's a form of collaboration. If, like, you can make somebody money, they're never gonna forget about you, right? Like, you help them get to another lesson, like another part in their journey, or, like, for example, like knowledge and like certain fields. Like, a lot of the artists, they like me because I understand, like, the business side of it, you know? So, like, if I see something like, yo bro, how come your stuff's not on the DSPs? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like, are you copywriting your songs? Do you have them registered? Like, you know, like, I'll just throw out little tidbits. If I, like I said, solve a problem, if I know they have a problem, like, and then they become cool with you, and now they're in your network, and then whatever they got going on, like, be like, oh bro, man, I see you dope with this, like, I've been trying to, like, work on that more. Like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it always got one hand, always got to watch the other. It can't just be you just in everybody's sink, like, like, you can't do that. Like, it's like people got to be able to come to your kitchen. Like, if I'm in your fridge, like, it should be no problem you being in mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's pretty much how I look at it. And just everywhere I go, even when I take trips, I just do the same thing. So it's just, basically just over time, just being, you know, consistent and just being repetitive when it comes to that plan. It's just, it compounds. And over time, like, for example, like, you're not in the same place you was 10 years ago, right? So if you're still in contact with that person, like, what you got going on? Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, I can slide in right here. Yeah. You know, it's like, what you doing now? Okay, bet. So that's pretty much the position that I'm in right now. And it's like, I just pretty much feel like a free agent. What direction I want to go with it? Do I want to go here? Do I want to focus more on that? But, you know, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Okay. So, with other people in mind, and not even people, anything, who or what then inspires you?
Man, coming up, it was always Pharrell for me, because he just came in the game just being the anomaly, you know. Like, if we want to be for real, like, he wasn't doing what anybody was doing at the time, you know, especially like the sound and just the fashion, just everything he was doing. It was like, this how I want to present it, this how it's going to be done. So he was always a reminder to me. He even made that song, You Could Do It Too. So I'm like, ever since I heard that, I was like, you're right. What's there to look back on? Like, he you know, left his hometown, did what he had to do, you know. So I always looked at it as inspiration, you know. 50 Cent, he found his own way with it, you know. He came in the game dissing everybody. They said, don't do that. You're supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to be making friends with everybody. But he said, nah, man, like, this how I'm coming, you know. Like, and then, woo. You know, so.
And all right, Dareese, what would you say, either who or what inspires you?
Man, who inspired me in the beginning? I would probably say like Colin Tilley. I love his music videos, how he tells stories cinematically. I think he's like one of my number one favorite music video artists, directors out there. So I love his work. What's inspiring me right now is the way music is going. I love how it's going towards this, I guess you should say, like, motivational, kind of financial discipline way. You know, you got Corday with the highest level TED Talks he's doing and his lessons on.
He's doing TED Talks?
Yeah, he does TED Talks on mental strategy and how to actually be financially smart with your money and how to operate at the highest level as an artist and not just get fucked over by labels and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some of those reels of him talking.
Yeah, so that stuff is inspiring me too, and how, like, there's other artists getting famous, like Lil Russell, how he's able to just be himself, bring his auntie on stage, have her in a verse with a song, and the whole world is really messing with it. Like, he doesn't have to rap about shooting, fake money, all this stuff. He can just really, like, live in the moment and enjoy it. Like, that's people who are really, like, putting the mindset behind what they're doing is, like, what's inspiring me to continue going on right now. Because that's, like, I love it, you know? I think Cordier is somebody who I love to shoot a music video for, just work with, period.
Okay. Who stood with him saying Corday is who he would love to shoot, is somebody who he would love to shoot a video with.
Right.
Who would you most want to, like, work with or collaborate with?
Man, that's tough, man. Who? I mean, Larry's cool. Of course, Larry, man, I like what he got going on. Larry June, for sure. I love to shoot some of his videos and all that. But, you know, it's deeper with me with that. Like, I like linking up with, like, the people who have their hands in everything. Like someone like a Dame Dash, you know, like, because I always looked up to him, too. Because he's like, yeah, he got his money from music, but, like, even back then, you could tell, like, he didn't just want to do music, because then he dropped the clothing line, and then he had the whole production. You know, they started putting out their own movies and stuff. You know, like, it was just like, just to be great in every lane and just reap the benefits of it. That's who I, like, you know, look up to more, you know?
So why do you think, like, why do you got your hand in everything, you know? A lot of people would, like y'all are really, like, some of the first, like, there's really no one word. I can't say artists. I can't say directors. Y'all are the first creatives, entrepreneurs who I've met who have their hands in, like, so many different things, you know, who are doing so much stuff. Why do you involve yourself in so much stuff? Where do you think that comes from?
Because me just always being curious, like, I always just wanted to understand everything and how it works. Even if, like, when I have my hands in something, like, it's never to be the best in the world. Like, I don't care about that. It's more about understanding it, seeing it's for me, see how I can help other people around me. Like, even if it's not something that I want to, pursue like for a long time. Like I do meet people that do other stuff, so I can talk that lingo with them. Like, oh, you should, do this. So it's just, I always looked at it like infinity stones. Like the more you have, the better, right? Like you just got one stone, you just kind of stuck, right?
Yeah.
That's how I looked at it. But it's like, man, I got a whole gauntlet. Like, what y'all trying to do? What do I feel like doing? Should I snap today? I don't know. I can though, you know. So that's just how I was looked at it, and it's just fun. Like Monday, I'm shooting a video for somebody. Tuesday, I'm shooting a video for myself. The next day, if I want to rap on a stage, I know how to do that. The next day, I'm sitting down talking to you on a podcast, talking, it's just, it keeps it fun and interesting because at the end of the day, like it all falls under entertainment. We in the entertainment industry, so why just only know this much about it,
Okay. So now for both of you, my question is, what makes you happiest?
Go ahead, Reese. I know you probably got a more direct answer about that.
Oh man, I feel like happiness is a forever elusive word sometimes, man, isn't that? But man, I think what makes me happiest is when I'm in the moment. Like a lot of times I'm always planning for the future. I'm always doing things back to back. I'm always like, I never really have time to just sit there and enjoy the moment. So I feel like when my life is like, I think that's how you said, like what makes us consistent, what makes us keep going is because when we're not, it's so fucking boring, bro.
Yeah, facts.
I noticed but now I'm at a place to where like I'm no longer bored by silence. I'm no longer bored by stillness, Now that's what brings me happiness. And it was crazy because for a long time I was searching for happiness everywhere else, but it was really like you need to go out and you need to do things and understand the world to really appreciate what's in front of you. And that's that's what makes me happy, man. Just being able to work with people who are genuine about their art, who love what they're doing, who are passionate, and being in that moment with them where we're all like feeling a song or a verse or like an energy and you just have everybody on the same page. Like that's like just what I live for, man.
So what makes you happiest?
What makes me happiest is just being able to keep on creating from, fresh new ideas, fresh product, revamping old stuff, just keeping it going. Like, again, like what Reese was talking about, if I feel stagnant, then it's a slippery slope. But, as long as I know I'm progressing in the field, like that's what keeps me happy, all right, but we still putting up them numbers. We still, because there's so much to do, it's like, why not try it all, you never know.
We only live once, right?
For both of you then, I'm listening to that, I'm like, damn, that's touching me. So one of my biggest issues is I will sometimes it's just hard for me to keep being consistent, keep moving forward for whatever it is, like mental health reasons, like procrastination. Stuff gets in the way and everything. For anybody, because I'm always looking for the answer to this, and I'm always looking, and y'all seem like y'all are doing like great with how you're moving and everything, what you're creating, the visions you're developing and everything. What would you suggest to me and to anybody else to how to continue developing and getting to that point where they're in the moment?
This might be kind of a straightforward answer, but like it's so funny because this topic's been heavy on my heart for a long time, because like right now this is like year 4, year 5. They usually say it takes like 3 to 5 years to reach your dreams, and like I'm at a point to where like a lot of the people I start with, like especially the ones I believed in the most, who like were like super talented, like they just all of a sudden say I don't want to do this no more. They just like give up and say they have other stuff. And me at the like when I'm sitting there, I could fight and be like no, like, but I realize like it's at one moment you're gonna wake up and be like, I did this through all my problems, all my stress. I did this at the worst of times when I was low. I did it at the best of times. Like, what else can take me out? Like, you're either gonna decide to do it or you're not. You know, like, problems are gonna happen. Everybody's gonna have problems. It's, are you gonna continue to fight through your problems? Like, today alone, 3 cameras shut off during the interview, but you got up, you continued it, you pressed it on, you took the break, you managed it well.
That looked like consistency to me, because some people would have just been like, all right, interview over.
Yeah, that's what separates, like, the people who are really like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, versus the people who are like, I don't know if I still want to do this.
You said
I just want to repeat this one time. You said, I did this at my lows, I did this at my highs, and then you said, what can stop me now? Or you said, did you say, what else is going to stop me?
Yep.
Damn, that shit hit like some bricks.
Did this at my lows, did this at my highs. Nothing can stop me now, bro.
That's crazy.
For sure. That's basically like the root for it for me too. Like Dareese was saying, like, I've done this at my lows, I've done this at my highs. It's like, why stop? You know? And just being consistent is really a mental thing, because I don't wake up every day wanting to do everything that's required to really excel at it. But like, even on your lower days, as long as you're doing like something towards your bigger picture, like, you're still being consistent. Like, people think every day is a big deal project. Like, you know, a lot of these like big deal projects, like, it takes a while for that to hit. It's not every day a big project, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the little projects count. Like, even what we doing right now counts. Like, all that counts. So even if today you just did some light, you know, uploaded some new stuff to your YouTube because you don't know who's watching, like, that's helping you. Like, that's still putting work to it. Not every day you gotta shoot a movie, you know?
I think it goes beyond the whole creative tip too, you know? Even if you feel like not even opening your camera today, read a book.
That's okay. Do something.
Watch a
learn
YouTube
about
video.
your camera. If you don't feel like turning it on, learn about it. You don't know everything about it, you know?
Not every time I want to post on social media, you know, like, I'm not always posting on social media, but does that mean I'm not developing? No, I'm
it's not
always
all about
reading,
posting. You
always
know?
learning, always creating. You gotta keep going, you
It's
know?
bigger than that. It's not about the likes and all that, you know. That just helps you. Like, oh, I posted today, I got some likes, I'm doing good. Like, whatever.
90% of people I worked with, they had the song, they had the look, they just didn't have the belief in themselves. So the mindset, you know?
You look the part, but you're not even willing to be the part. Who cares? Like, that's how I always look at it. Like, that's what's up. You know? Like, because we can always make someone look the part, but you can't even play it. It don't even matter.
You can always work on your art, but you also got to work on your insides too, man. You got to do the self-work. I feel like that's a big thing as well.
It starts within, you know? You got to keep your mental right. Got to keep your focus right, you know?
Let's say, gotta keep your focus
right. Toss them hoes to the left. Work hard for that check. Gotta keep your self-respect. Keep your foot on their neck. Don't tell them what's coming next, you know?
Then go out and you flex.
Then go out and you play. Yeah, that's pretty much how we get over that battle.
That was a good song, by the way.
Fumble, still my #1 stream song on all streaming platforms. Shout out. Astro on there, Quali on there. It was cool, man. Cool vibes, you know. Yeah.
Seems like y'all are real, like, authentic, especially when it comes to your roles in other people's lives. What do you offer, and how do you affect the people's lives around you?
Who's starting this one?
I guess. Okay, I think for me, I think I offer like a dose of reality. You know, like, I'm not gonna sit there and like badger you about everything you're going on, but I'm gonna let you know, like, you're here. This is where you want to be, and this is the difference. You know, like, a lot of people, like, if you're a big artist or you're good, a lot of people are gonna be scared to tell you that, like, yeah, but the reason why your song's not big is because, like, your verse was trash, or like it wasn't as catchy as that kid who made it in his room. Yeah. You know, like, you know, and not only that, it's like, bro, you've been shooting like the last 10 music videos without a haircut. You know, like, are you serious? You know, just like I'm the one who's gonna sit there and tell you like this is the reason why you only got 2 views today, bro. And you can't be mad at saying Instagram's algorithm is holding you down. Like,
It's not the app, it's your content.
yeah. And I'm here to help you build it, though. I'm not gonna just tell you this is your problem. I'm gonna tell you this is your problem, and I can solve it. Like we can solve it together, you know. And that's kind of what I try to bring.
What does Sto0d bring to people's life? I've been told a lot of things. I've been told I bring inspiration to people, a realistic perspective on this creative entertainment game, you know, and just like you said, just being authentic with myself and what I do. Because I've noticed a lot of people get caught up in the glam and the glitz and the social media, you know, like they're comparing themselves to an unreal benchmark, not even understanding like what they're looking at, you know. So it's like, don't beat yourself up about it. Like, you got to understand, like, it's a process to this, and like what you see, all that stuff ain't real. And this is someone who's seen both sides of the glass, you know, been around, you know, be around them higher ups that you know, I don't want to say idolize, but I'll just say for the situation that you looking up to, like, dang, I'm trying to get to that level. And even just the everyday creator that's making bank, like, I be around those types, you know, like, so it's real. Like, don't get caught up in the sauce of Instagram. Like, just because they got a blue check don't mean they seen checks. Like, and that's real, you know.
Facts. A lot of blue checks I met be the poorest people, bro.
They the ones that want us to work for, like, for the
free.
lower, you know.
They be asking you to do the free
just because
videos.
of the name, you know. It's like,
And the unheard of dudes. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, yeah, you know, just being realistic in this thing and just showing people in my age bracket and younger, like, yo, like, you can make money on this thing, like, you know, like, for real. You don't have to be known across the world to make money. Of course, that's the goal. You can always step towards it, but don't feel like just because you're not a household name that you can't make no change. Like, seriously, you know?
I know that's the biggest thing I've been trying to hold myself accountable to. Like, you'll see, like, other directors, the way they'll treat a household name versus how they'll treat the newest up-and-coming artist is completely different, you know? But when it comes to me and my brand, like, I'm going to treat you guys the same because I'm giving you my all in either way.
Don't matter who it is.
Yeah, so it's no different here.
If my name's on that project, you just get in the Sto0d treatment. Like, it's like, don't matter, blue check, no check. If I agree to the project, clearly, like, I'm invested, you know?
Whether you got 2 views or you got 2 million views, I'm going to give you what you give me. We're going to put our all into this. Yeah. And we're going to make it fire. That's all.
So, the next question that I'm feeling in the back of my mind, which I'm going to do my best to like word out as best I can, is, so what's all this mean to you then, I guess? Everything, all the emotions you feel when you do it, your love for it, your passion for it, the days when it's there for you when you're like at your lowest, what the highs it brings you, what's all that mean for you?
Freedom. Creative freedom. Especially me, I grew up in a time where it's like, go to school, go to college, get a job. That just never, it didn't feel right in my soul. You know, even when I was in high school, it's like, nah, there's another way. Like, I don't have to, you know, there's another way. I'ma get paid to be me. In high school, I didn't know how, but I took the steps to kind of like figure out, like, what am I passionate about? What can I do? How can I add value? Stuff like that. Just figuring it out. And with time and technology, now it's just getting easier. Now it's like, it's really a user error, you know what I'm saying? If you can't figure something out at this point, between Google, YouTube, and Chat GPT, like, if you, I don't know.
Do anything.
I don't know. It's really a user error, you know?
You know, for me, I was always told, like, by multiple, like, girlfriends and, like, family members that I would never be satisfied because I'm always chasing after something different, you know, like, I'm one of the first in my immediate family to graduate from college. You know, I have 2 bachelor degrees, one in marketing, one in sociology. I took AP classes in high school, even though like my freshman year I started off with a D average. Like my GPA was like a 1.7, but by the time I graduated, I actually graduated with 3.5 cum laude. So like throughout high school was really crazy. Just the personal growth I went through within myself. And I feel like I've always been kind of trying to find something that was for me, you know? It was like, where's something that I can continue to learn new things in, be creative, grow, and add value. And like, whenever, like even in this camera field, even as a director, videographer, not all the time am I so sure like this is what I want to do. But like every level I reach, everything I do, I just fall more and more in love with it. And it just makes me continue it every day. And I think this is what, it's doing this, that what keeps me doing this. So it's interesting. Like, whether it's like Sto0d said, like when you're working with somebody who wants to shoot music videos one day and then wants to build a clothing brand the next day, you have to understand how to like promote a human and then go ahead and promote a clothes. That's 2 totally different stories you need to do. And then on top of that, you have to figure out how you're gonna run a show and promote a show after. And then how can you convince the human that this either doesn't make sense to tie it all together or that it does make sense? Yeah. And then what are you gonna do to add value to that? If you didn't input any ideas, or if like it wasn't your brand, you know, how are you gonna build it? How are you gonna expand on it? Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, they're always reaching out saying like, yeah, can I, I'm available, I'm free for you, da da da. But I think that was like one of the biggest lessons is instead of saying like, let's work or hit me up, you need to provide what you can do for that person. Tell that person like, yo, this is what you're missing, and I'm the one who can do that for you. Let's work. Interesting. You know, and I feel like people will respect you a lot more, and you'll get into a lot more rooms that way.
Okay, so what would you say then are your biggest and like whole aspirations and goals with what you're doing?
You want me to go first? I can, don't matter.
Yeah, go for it. You're already out. Are you ready?
All right, bet. Take it as far as I can go. Expand it. Like, you only got one life, one shot. So it's like, why not see how far you can take it? You know how Reese was talking about. A bunch of my people, even to this day, they like, you're never going to be content with it. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not. But what's wrong with that? I mean, no one's telling you you're wrong for being content with where you at. What's wrong if I want to push it past the red? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a different color. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just live in the whole why not.
I think my biggest goals is creative freedom and financial freedom. I feel like I'm reaching that point to where I'm becoming creatively free. You know, I can almost work with like anybody I want to work with around anywhere in the world. And that's one of my goals, is to hit that. I want to be able to work with anybody around the world, no matter what it's on. Whether it's myself, be able to build up the skills that someone I want to work with might need, or it's being so good at what I do that people who I want to work out reach out to needing me, you know? That one. And then with the financial freedom, you know, I realize like I'm meeting all these people living this creative life, living this like artist life, but they don't got the money. They still worrying about how they're gonna live next year. You know, they're still working song to song, check to check, video to video. And it's the same thing as like paycheck to me, you know? And I'm like, okay, so I gotta shake this mindset, you know? So it's a mindset thing. I gotta get out of like having to live that fast life. I want to figure like delayed gratification, you know? And I'm realizing like, yeah, I just need to get financially free. I need to have enough financial education in my head to know how to handle my money, so that way I can create whenever I want, however I want, and not have to be bound by whether or not someone can afford me, or whether or not I want to work with somebody because of how struggling I am financially.
So then, what do you see are a lot of common like mistakes and like pitfalls that you see people fall into, or you may have fallen into, that you can like suggest something on?
Man, so a good one. Me and Sto0d, we were actually shooting a music video one time, right? And then this artist, he pretty much hired us. He said, "You guys have it, your freedom. You guys can do what you want." You know, it was a low budget video. We were doing a favor for a favor of a friend. You know, so we weren't that worried about it. It's about like we weren't even getting paid. I think if I remember the price, it was like $200 for the video. Not even. If anybody directs music videos, you know, like $200 is like lunch money, right? So we're in this. I'm here. I'm the director, and then Sto0d's the cinematographer. And then I'm here directing the artist because he says he wants a scene where he's arguing and fighting himself, you know. So I have this great image in my mind where I want to clone him and do something that's a little bit complicated to explain, you know. But I told him, "Don't worry, we have everything here. Let's just do it." The artist got frustrated with me, and then he even got to a one point to where he came out of his chest and he was like, "I paid my 200. I paid 200 for this video. I want it how I want it." And I was just like, whoa. First of all, bro, I wasn't even tripping. If you didn't want the clone this way, just explain it to me, you know, let me know. I could easily change, like, where's this energy coming from? And then, like, the local in me kicked in, and I was like, but we can go outside, and I can whoop that ass and shake hands after, you know? But I had to, like, really, like, I feel like that moment got me, or I always look back at that moment in, like, every year of my creative career moving forward, because it was like one of the best lessons I've learned. It taught me like to explain better, to work with clients that I actually want to work with, to make sure that the people I'm working with know like what message they're trying to get across, what they want out of their art. Because I know a lot of like artists will tell you have your freedom, and then you give them the idea, give them the budget, you give them the plan, you provide them with everything, and you'll shoot it, they'll like it, but when you give them the final video, they'll still say, "Oh, that's not what I want." I'm like, but bro, we had like 20 chances to figure this out, you know? It's like, this is a collaboration. It's a collaborative sport, I guess, we playing, right? But I've realized like you have to be able to understand, communicate, and really be open-minded to your network and people around you. Communication is key. Like, just talk about the full idea, have it written out, have it not only in like your art, but just in like networking in this whole field. You need to be able to communicate at like an intensely high level. Because rap music is all about communication, you know. So you're visually communicating as a video director. You're communicating to me how it should look, how the look should tell me how I should feel, right? And I feel like you should, in every aspect, being a better person in your field, to get better, you need to understand how to communicate every aspect of what you do, which helped Sto0d, I feel like, become a way better at his music, being able to communicate how he wants his visuals, how he wants his clothes to look, you know, how he wants his image to represent. And then now it comes to how he wants his beat to sound, you know, what sound is he getting across now? Because some people are just into like, if you're making a song where like you want to motivate people, you want people to get hype from listening to your song, you have to put the layers into that song that give off that feeling of motivation and hype, you know? You're not gonna sing a song monotone to a jazz beat if you're trying to hype someone and motivate them up, you know? You're gonna add that background, add those ad libs, add those different vocals, you know, and hype it up. And I feel like people just got to understand, like, in everything you do, there's layers. And you can't just stick to one layer. You have to be able to dig beneath.
Slit. The biggest lessons I've learned?
The pitfalls you see a lot of people fall into.
Oh, the pitfalls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you might have fallen into yourself.
Okay, cool. I can speak from both positions. One of the biggest pitfalls I always fallen into is just like doing everything myself, you know, like it sounds good, but at the same time it's not, because you're kind of boxing yourself into like not letting other ideas amplify your idea, you know. Like, it's not that your idea is not good or great, but it can always be better, you know. So like, just another perspective, like, oh, you ever looked at it from this perspective? Oh no, and I could just trigger some other stuff in your brain and just turn it up even more, you know. Just kind of, I always used to protect my ideas, because, you know, I have some ideas stolen and blah, 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 or I put an idea in somebody else's hand and it just kind of fumbled. But now it's to the point where it's like, since I understand all the different sides, like, it's really up to me if it fumbles or not. Like, I can trust you with the idea, but of course, like, I know what's going on, so I can pick it up before it even fumbles, you know, like, we can get it done still, you know. So it's like just trusting other people in my, you know, creative process and art, you know. That was one of my pitfalls, because I've seen people that just kind of stayed in a box, and that's literally what happens. They stay in a box, they don't progress, and they spend the rest of their time trying to get out. Another pitfall is, like Reese was saying, delayed gratification. Like especially with this game, like, you heard of artists get that big check and then 2 years later, like, what happened? Like, they didn't split it up right. Or even like cameraman, you know, like, 1 month you might be getting gigs for $1,500, the next you might be barely getting $5. So it's like, while you getting that 15, put some stuff to the side, invest into your craft so you can double up, you know. Like, you got a better camera, so the price goes up, right? You know, stuff like that. Even with the music stuff, you know, you got to balance it all out. That's basically the two pitfalls that I've experienced and I seen firsthand, that kind of just stopped, like, greatness, just because of that bad money management, or just like being too scared to expand your mind, you know, because you got to progress with time. Like, it's, especially with the music and all this camera stuff, like, it's 2023, like the 2012 tactics, the 2013 tactics not working. Like, the whole landscape different, you know.
So we're closing up on time, everybody. What I always like to do is ask this question. If you could give, like, one message, one anything, a shout out, something you've learned, if you could say one thing to everybody listening, you know, one message, what would it be and why would you say that?
You go first.
Take your time with this journey and enjoy it too, because like I've seen a lot of people kind of just stop enjoying it and sit down, you know. So just take your time with it. Like, you gotta understand, like, what they say, it takes 10 years to build an overnight success. Like, that person that you seen pop today, it wasn't because they woke up today and, oh snap, I finally got my big check. No, that's years and years. And backtrack. Your favorite person that just popped. If you get bored, just backtrack at their history. They got rejected. They went through probably worse stuff than you, but that's why they're receiving more than you, because they went through worse. So just keep it going.
I say, if I had something to tell people, there's two ways to reach your dreams. You're either going to pay for it or you're going to put the work into it. Me, I chose the latter. So when you're going out every day to put the work into it, it's going to be hard. You're going to be in times to where you don't even believe in yourself. The people closest to you are going to be at times to where they don't even believe in you. And you really got to remember, like, why you do it for, and hold on to that reason and keep going. Because it's not even about other people at the end of the day. Like he said, it's a personal growth battle. Like, once you find out whether you're a rapper, a cameraman, once you find out what your purpose in the world is, from that moment on, it's, can I grow into the person who can do this consistently? Am I going to be disciplined enough to go out and do this every day? And it's like, I think, so first make the decision. You're going to be, what do you want to do? You're going to be an artist, you're going to be a cameraman, you're going to be a fashion designer. Like, you can do it all, but you still need to make the decision. You know, what's going to be the main you? And then once you have that decision, then you can figure out, how do you incorporate everything else around that? How can you make everything, I guess, compound off of that? Because it doesn't matter if you're not compounding. You're just cutting one thing for the other. So Figure out how you guys can add the compound effect into what you do. Do less for more, like, because as somebody who does it all for so little, I guess I would say figure out how to maximize your time, your effort. Don't go out burning yourself out every day when you could get the same quality content by just thinking about it more.
Or even better if you think about it,
Yep. But then again, don't get caught thinking. You need to go out and do. Like, go out and do the shit, because that's the only way you get better, is by doing every day.
So, all right, so Sto0d, you, when this comes out, Reese is going to be in AZ, Arizona. When are you head out to Arkansas?
Man, Reese leave Tuesday, I leave Wednesday.
Damn.
Double whammy.
All right, so this is the first episode I've been able to shoot out here in Hawaii, and by the time this comes out, they will not be in Hawaii anymore. So if you are in Arizona, if you are in Arkansas, hit them up respectively.
Just like who we are and want to fly us out, man.
Or even if you're in Hawaii, shoot, you can get into the black book. I could tap you in if you need some. You're a videographer, you need clients. I could give you my black list of clients that gonna need stuff that I can't do for them. Like, you just never know. Like, there's always somebody in my line for some. So if you have something to bring to the table, always feel free. There's always work in this business. Trust me.
On that note, thank you very much for listening. If you made it here, could you both, for people who are listening, might not be on the video, might not be in a place where they can check it out right now, could you say all your socials out and everything for just people listening?
Oh yeah, what's up, everybody? Like I said, you can find me on Dareese Develops on all platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Dareese Develops. You can also find some of my music video work on Developing Visions. That's where I put most of the bigger projects out there. Got my man Sto0d with me collaborating on them. Yeah, develop.
If you want to follow me, Sto0d as a whole, my Instagram is Sto0d. You'll get the splash of the music, the production, the fashion, the foodie stuff, the jokes, all that. That's just pretty much the Sto0d hub. If you're interested in just more of my, my visuals, what I do behind the camera, that's Sto0d Visions on all the socials and the YouTube and all that. If you like if you can see the beanie I'm wearing, or if you just want to see some fly merch, FoolsKnow, that's the merch. Just so much stuff going on. All
right, excuse me, can I get in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
The astute viewers will realize I just moved the cameras, so I just wanted to get back in to say thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tune in next time. Check out whoever we got. Check out their socials that they just said. Gonna be in the description. Thank you very much. Have a good one. See you next time.
That was dope.
Hell yeah, that was awesome.
That was dope, man.
That was fire. Yeah.
We're gonna slide out, boss. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I'm so